Hey there, friend, and welcome back for another episode of the Your Hair Mentor podcast, where I'm your host and your hair mentor, Crystal Green. And I invite you to come take a listen to the top leaders and thinkers and experts and innovators in the beauty industry as they share their stories of triumph and struggles and success in creating their businesses behind the chair. I hope you enjoy these episodes just as much as I did recording them. See you on the inside, friend. Welcome to the Your Hair Mentor podcast. I'm super happy to have you here today, and I want to make sure that I pronounce your name properly. Is it Carolina?
It's Carolina.
Carolina. See, I knew.
In
I was like,
Spanish.
there's a little flavor in your voice. I can tell. So I was like, I'm going to say this wrong.
Yeah, depending on what area of the country I'm traveling, sometimes I say Carolina. But
Okay.
as I got older, I say Carolina because it's just easier.
Okay. And can you tell me, where is your accent from? Where are you from originally?
So I was born in Colombia, Barranquilla, Colombia.
Okay.
If I may say the same city as Shakira and Sofia Vergara, we're all from the same city, very
Oh,
small town.
okay. So to pronounce your
And
name properly would actually be Carolina or Carolina, right?
Carolina, yes,
Okay, okay.
Carolina,
Right,
Carolina.
Carolina. It sounds funny.
Yes. And then my parents moved here when I was 15. I'm the oldest of four. My mom came here for fashion design. She was selling her brand here and manufacturing here and all that. And then that's how I grew up here. I went to high school here, and so I've been. I have to say that I constantly say if I have to go to war, I'll represent the United States, even though I don't like war. But if I do, I've been here in this country a lot longer than I was in mine, so
Yeah,
I feel
yeah.
very American.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I
Thank
love
you.
it. And we'll get into what you're doing with your business in a second here. But where are you located now? Is it Florida? Is that right?
Yes, I'm in Miami,
In
Miami, Florida.
Miami. What's your temperature like there today? Is it hot?
Today's probably 79.
Oh, girl.
It's
Oh, that's beautiful.
humid
Man.
though. It's
Yeah.
79, but like cloudy and a little humid. But I
Yeah.
like it. I love the heat.
Yes. I like the heat too, but I like the dry heat. I live in the desert
Yes.
and I love the
Where are you?
dry.
Where
I'm
are
in
you?
Reno, Nevada.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like high desert temperatures. I think we're like mid 80s today, but dry. So
I
it
love the temperature
feels,
there. Yeah, it's
yes. Yeah.
beautiful. I
Yeah.
went to Las Vegas with my daughter last spring and we
Mm-hmm.
drove to Sedona. So we had to
Mm.
cross the desert and beautiful. I love the drive. Beautiful.
So beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't love about the weather here is it destroys my skin. Like the dryness is so bad for your skin and your hair that I'm like, oh,
Hmm.
I have to just put on so much lotion and moisturizer on everything.
Drink a lot of water.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, let's talk about the reason why I invited you here today, because you have a very interesting business model that I know my listeners would love to hear about. So I want to hear about what you're doing, and then I'd love to hear kind of like your story about what led you there.
Absolutely. Yes. So my mother became a hairdresser when she was 39. If I could just go quick into like the background of it, she moved here for fashion. She closed her factory in Colombia and opened a factory here in 89. And it was around the same time they opened like the negotiations with China and everything was being imported with China. And it was really hard for her to compete with their prices. So her business went bankrupt.
Oh,
And she was like, I'm not going back at all, with four kids. I'm not going back to Colombia to start from like with nothing. And she started selling Mary Kay.
oh,
And then within like the 2 months, she got the car because she sold so much. She's a great salesperson. I had a lot of friends and she got her car and then she kind of like fell in love with the whole cosmetic industry. She loved like helping women and I think the fact that she was helping other people, it was helping herself because she got really depressed. Obviously, when you're so successful in your country and you come to a new country, you have to do whatever you can.
mm-hmm.
So she decided to go to beauty school at 39 and she became the breadwinner of the family. She supported the whole family and just from beauty school. And then my sister, who had gotten married very young after high school, she got divorced at 21 and she didn't know what she was going to do. She couldn't finish college. And then she started working with my mom as an assistant. And then she became a hairdresser. And then when I got pregnant at 32, I was working in TV. I was living in LA at that time, working, doing acting and trying to make it.
Uh-huh.
And then when I got pregnant, I didn't want to be in an industry that was so I don't know what the words, but you kind of like rely on other people to see where your life goes. And I didn't want to be like that being a mom. So I went to their salon and I worked with my mom and my sister in their salon. And then when my daughter was 3 weeks old, I decided to go to beauty school. So I always
Wow.
feel like this career has been amazing because we've all become hairdressers in the middle of like pain, like, something that was really hard for all of us. And it's helped us. It's a fact that helping other people help you. You help
Absolutely.
yourself when you help other people. So then working in family business is not easy. Then in 2016, when the whole salon suite started happening, my I went on my own and I opened a suite. And I remember telling my landlord, if you just please give me 6 months rent instead of 1 year, I want to try it out. It's my first time on my own. And then nothing. I was there for about 5 years in my own salon suite. And I did have a lot of clients that are always like, "Oh, will you come to my house?" And so I would do it just to make the money and not say no. But I feel also that it was very hard to say no to people in this industry. I don't know if it had to do with when you feel like you're less than somebody else because you're a hairdresser, or like hairdressers have something um, that we're almost like secondhand citizens for some reason. And
Right.
I don't know if it's just me, but I just from the comments that I got from people all the time, like, why are you gonna go to beauty school? You're so much more than that. And I'm thinking, like, what, like, what's more than a hairdresser? We're like, this is a profession,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why I'm so passionate about changing the prices and telling people you're worth it. Do charge what you're worth. It is not easy. Just holding the scissors and the comb and the hair at the same time, that's
Yeah.
talent, and that requires techniques and it requires studying. And it is so much. It's I can't even explain how desperate I am because I see my mother now. She's retired, and anyway, that's another story. But when people always ask me to go to their houses and do their hair, and I would go there to do, let's say, a haircut and a hair color. And I was there for 5 hours. Oh, wait, I have to do this. Hold on, the kids. Hold on, the babysitter. And I'm like sitting there waiting and waiting. And then I'm like, no, this is like, I had to do something different. And, and I would imagine myself like, what if I had a van when the whole van life was starting? What if I had a
Mm-hmm.
van and I built a salon and I started reading everything about it, what was needed? And I registered the name in 2018, but I was still very afraid to launch it and create the whole concept. And then when 2020 started, I was thinking, oh my goodness, this is an amazing idea. If I just had my van, I would be working right now. And sadly, at that time, do you need a break? Am I talking too much?
No, 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 no. No, you're doing
Okay.
great.
So then in 2020, I was in the middle of a few legal battles, including over the name of my salons, of my salon View Bar. It had a different name previous to that.
Oh.
And then I was broke when they told us that we couldn't open the suites. When the pandemic started, I had $8 in my bank account. I have to find that screenshot because I have it somewhere and share it. And I was thinking, what do I do? How do I make money to finally get my van ready and get a deposit and get the van? And I started delivering color immediately. I called my sales rep and I said, before you close, I need gloves, I need hair colors, I need bowls and everything. And I created a kit with disposable towels that I had already purchased before COVID. And I started doing delivery of color. And and that's how I started saving. And then I got a small loan from the Small Business Administration, got my deposit, got my van, and in June of 21, I was out working already with everything.
Oh my gosh.
So
Do you mind if I ask you how much financially it took to get the van up and running? Because it looks like a really nice van. So, for anyone that's listening, you have a mobile salon service in a van.
yes, so I have
Yes.
a Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van.
Mm-hmm.
the small version because I didn't want to have trouble parking. I wanted to be able to park everywhere I go.
Good idea.
And I bought the passenger van because at the time that I went to get the vans, all the cars were very low. They were trying to sell cars. Nobody was going out. And so I bought it a zero APR, which is great, no interest. And I put $5,000 down. That was part of the Small Business Administration loan. And then I had saved money from delivering color, and I found a guy who was building food trucks.
Ah.
So then we spoke, and I realized that he was kind of an artist. So I said, "You can help me build a salon, and we need it like this. We need water." I went through the whole Florida State Department of Business and Professional Regulations to find out what was needed for the mobile salon. They have a requirement, like 35 gallons of water, and they said that I don't need to have the bathroom in the van, but I have to have a bathroom within 600 feet. And since I go to my client's house, like the bathroom's right there, I don't have to build a bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just put the minimum in my van. Like I don't have that many, I don't have drawers or many things, but the generator, I, I just had to build the minimum to be able to launch. And then now I'm at the point where I need to update certain things. So I'm working on that, but I'm just taking my time and kind of reinvesting on whatever I see that there's potential for growth.
Mm-hmm.
So
So do you think I mean, I'm assuming in doing this, you spent less investment up front to build out your van than you would have if you were like signing a lease at a salon for like a year or something like that.
oh yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. I was actually thinking about this. It's a good question because the salon suites where I was before, I was not saving much, maybe less than $200 a month between the van and the suite that I previously rented, but at least the van is mine. And because people don't think that you have to pay liability insurance, and you have to pay commercial vehicle insurance because I have a corporation, so you have to be a commercial vehicle. The build out of the van, but then also you pay for gas, but you don't pay for utilities that you pay in a suite. And you pretty much, let's say this, like I work less, but I make more the times that I work. And it allows me to have more time to build a business that is what I'm trying to do now. Like it gives me more time to build things in the computer. I build my own website. I've become really good at branding and digital marketing because I
Mm-hmm.
had to learn everything. Like I built my own website myself, and I had to learn. So sometimes my social media is a little, but it works. And at the end of the day, people just want to see whatever they're entertained with. Now,
Yes.
I realize that when I share pictures of hair, there's like, nobody cares. But if I share a picture of me doing something completely off the business, they love it. So they just want to see like who's behind the brand, who's doing all this. And that's kind of like what I'm doing. I'm still doing everything on my own until I say I cannot do it anymore. Now I need to add one more person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, when you had the idea to start the van, was there someone else that you were seeing do this? Or like, how did you think about the mobile career being something that could be viable?
Um, I had seen barbers. I had seen a barber in California on
Okay.
social media. And then after I got my van, I met another barber in Miami. But it's a little different because they don't really need to wash your hair. They can just spray you, and it's a little different concept. And guys are more casual about stuff like that. Like a guy could go to a barber and the other one sits there. Maybe they can park in a corner. Guys are very casual, but women are different. We are a little more, we like our space. We like a little more luxury, right? We
Mm-hmm.
like, this is like a little spa time, right? Going to the
Privacy.
salon is, yes, the privacy.
Mm-hmm.
And so at the convenience too, I did everything by myself. I'm a single mom. So I had to think of what was convenient for me as far as time. Like I like to work out at a gym that's close to me. I like to live close to where my daughter goes to school. I like to make my day as convenient as possible to do as much as I can in one day.
Yeah.
So I don't like to waste time.
Yeah.
And that's when I thought of the van. And I also wanted people, still the online booking is still it still needs work because this service is not one size fits all. It's not like ordering food. We're working with techniques and experience and a little bit of art as well. I know people think we're artists, but it's very technical. Everything you can create art, but you need the technique to create the art, a good art.
Yes.
And
So I'm
what
curious with scheduling. Do you schedule more than one client a day? And like how would you do that? Tell me how your
Yes.
schedule looks. Yeah?
So my schedule, what I do is like when a client books me in one area, I block the whole day completely. And then when I get clients calling me, hey, do you have anything available? Like the old clients are used to texting me, and they're in that area, I can put them in that area. I can see up to 5 people in a day, but then also when I have, let's say, book with a friend or more than one service with someone in the house, or you get more than one service, that's when you start saving more. Like if I just go to you for a haircut, then it's more. But if I go to you for a haircut and color, then my prices go down a little bit. Um, I work in a way that I do a minimum per hour, but I don't charge clients per hour. When I first started in the van, I was charging per hour. And then I realized the moms were like, oh, I'm in a hurry up. I have to pick up my kid. And it's like, oh, no, they knew I was getting charged per hour. So they were trying to hurry me up. So now what I do, like, I know how long it takes me to put the highlights and for the color to process. So I have an approximate time. And it is per hour, but they don't know it. So
Mm.
let's say I do basic highlights for just an example, $250 for half a head of highlights, or yeah, something
Sure.
like that. And then if they use, that includes one bowl of bleach. If they add more, like second bowl is $25, three bowls. So depending on that, that's going to increase the time according to the client's length and how blonde they want to be, or how much highlights they want. And that gives me my hourly rate, but they don't know it's per hour. That's just like
Yeah.
it's kind of, yes. It
And so
helps. We should
yeah.
never tell our clients that we're charging per hour because sometimes they still cannot accept it. They can pay $800 for microblading, which is painting your eyebrows, but then they complain about paying $600 for a hair that we go to school for a whole year and it just takes so much product and so much time.
Yeah.
Yeah, our hair industry needs to change a lot. We have a long way to go.
It can be really confusing for consumers too.
Yes, yes, because they're not used to it.
No, they're
Especially like
not.
my clients that are women over 30 with kids and
Yeah.
gray hair and
So then,
contemporary to me.
oh yeah, absolutely. I'm curious with your scheduling because you have to travel to people's houses.
Yes.
How do you factor in travel time and like the like gas cost to get to and from? I ask this because at one point in time, I thought I wanted a mobile salon business, and I had no idea how I would even think about that being part of the service cost.
Yeah, I don't really do the mileage. I just practically do the distance. And if it takes me more than 30 minutes, and depending on the time they want the appointment. So, oh, another thing, since I started my van, I don't work Saturdays anymore.
Mm.
And I don't want to change it. I offer a Saturday before Mother's Day, and no one called me to do the Saturday.
Mm.
So I'm happy. I work Mondays through Fridays.
Hmm.
And Mondays are actually pretty busy for me because people want to go to the beach on the weekend, and then they want to get their hair done on Monday. Before, when I used to book people on Saturday and the day was nice, they would call me like, "Oh, I'm not feeling well, but I know the day was nice. You want to go to the beach. You don't want to get your hair done." I already know that, so they have plans for the boat on the weekends, and so I enjoy having that time. So what I do is, if I have to drive more than 30 minutes, I charge a travel fee, $50 flat rate. And then there's certain areas that I don't go to, but if the client really likes my work, if they want to come to me in the van, I park the van in a central area and then they come to me. So I usually park at a client's, let's say I have a client that has a boutique, and I park the van in front of her boutique, and then the other client comes, and then they can use the restroom, they can see where they want to shop. But most of the times I go to people's houses or office.
Hmm.
But a lot of I do professionals. I also do young people that are working virtual, and a lot of busy moms. They do
Hmm.
their kids, their husband, whole family.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. Oh, I can see from like the client's perspective, it's amazing. Are you kidding me? You'll come to
Yeah.
my house and do my hair, and I could like do the laundry in between when I'm processing or something, like, or whatever,
And also I was thinking that should I open like that barber that I met that had the mobile barber shop, he still had an option to offer his clients to come to him. I'm like, of course, clients are going to come to you. They're going to pay less. You cannot give clients the option. If you want to be mobile, you have to dive in with your eyes closed and just say, that's it. This is all I'm doing. And it was, you saw the video that I shared when I was crying that I was not making money. I was so afraid to increase my prices. But that also has to do with how you feel about yourself. Like
Right.
if you're not confident of who you are and the things that you're doing, it's very hard for you to say, I deserve to make this much money for my haircut. I deserve to make this much money for the hair color. I've been doing this for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So you always feel like I had a client one time tell me, oh, don't talk about the economy on social media because you're a hairdresser and you don't know how the economy works. And I can explain to you. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, what? I'm a hairdresser. I'm a business owner. I am a woman. Like, I'm independent. Like, so certain things that kind of just get recorded in your head, and then you might not feel insecure at that moment, but it gets to you. And
Mm-hmm.
then, I just had to say, I'm sorry. I had to increase my prices. I had to charge my worth. I studied with Anko Tran for hair color, haircut, and I studied with Johnny Ramirez for lifting hair color. And I know what I'm doing, and I know they're charging a lot of money, and there's nothing different between them and me.
Except for the
And
convenience for your client. Like,
yes,
that's huge.
absolutely.
Yeah. That's a win for them? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
So, how do you manage, like, if you get stuck in traffic somewhere? Like, obviously, that's time out of your day. Is that something that you've talked about with your customers where, like, that is that factored into the cost of their hair appointment, or how does that work?
No, I really haven't had that much time. I think I've probably been 15 minutes late to my appointments just because I plan myself really well. I don't like to make my clients wait.
Mm.
So my sister's a hairdresser too, and now she rents a chair. She's really busy. She's been doing hair for 19 years. And at first, when I first started in the van, she was having a little bit of an issue with me, kind
Oh,
of
really?
the rivalry. And she understands now that there's some clients that used to be with her and they come to me now, and there are clients that were with me and they go to her now. The clients don't know that my sister and I talk about this, but we both agree that it's not a competition, but we're just offering people what they need. Like these she people that go to her, and she's not that much cheaper or inexpensive,
Yeah.
but people that go to her just want to pay a little less and they want to spend 10 hours in the salon full of people, blow dryers, because there are like 12 hairdressers renting chairs and the assistants. And my clients don't like any of that. They're like me. I don't like going to that salon. She asked me, come to do your hair. And I'm like, no, for me, I don't like that. I
Mm-hmm.
like privacy. I like quiet. So I offer my clients what I like. I
Mm-hmm.
like the vibe of the peaceful. This is in for you. I'm here for you. You don't have to wait for anybody else. And I can do a whole head of balayage in 3 hours,
Mm-hmm. And so
long
for
hair.
you, you get the value of knowing you're going to provide your clients with like a more customized private experience. You
Yes,
don't have to deal with like the hustle and bustle of the salon. And so then for you, if you get stuck in traffic for a few minutes here and there, it's like no worries to you because you know you're still going to that like peaceful appointment that you're looking for.
yes. And my clients, like for example, moms of new babies, they come in, they put the foils, they go back in, they breastfeed, they love it. They come back out, and so I don't have to have coffee maker in the van because they bring me stuff. Like at first, they used to bring me, "Do you want a margarita?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm driving."
Oh my
It
God,
was
how
funny,
cute.
but they bring me all the time. They bring me food, they bring me coffee, and so that's convenient. It's fun. You
Mm-hmm.
also get to know your client in a different level,
Mm-hmm.
like see how they live. You don't invade their privacy, which is good.
Right.
So when I first started in the van, a lot of people thought, well, how much would it be? Oh, it would be a great business if you open the van, like a bunch of vans. But I realized as a hairdresser working in the van already, that the van is not the actual business. We are the business. We can start doing mobile work without the van, just setting up the same rules. Listen, I get this time, and you know how all these apps that are tech companies, they have you working kind of like independent contractor, and some people like it. I would not do that. I would never do work for all these on-demand apps because they have no idea how hard it is to do what we do. And
Yeah.
they're charging little blowout hair in a mobile blowout for like $60. And I'm thinking like, wow, that is probably one of the worst services for us, for our health. We get carpal tunnel, nerve damage.
I
It's
haven't heard of
terrible.
these. So this is a company that does this that people can
Well,
work for?
I've heard of companies like Glam Squad or
Oh, yeah. Okay, okay, yes, I have heard of that. I guess I just didn't understand exactly what it was. So they're
Create.
like independent contractors for that company. So they're
You
like
sign
getting,
up,
gotcha.
yes,
And then
and
they give
then
you the business and you just show up and get paid or whatever.
yes, they show up and get
Oh.
paid.
Mm.
You see, but the thing is, like in Florida, you cannot do mobile work, for example. I can only speak to Florida because I know the law here in Florida. In
Mm-hmm.
order to do mobile work in Florida, you need to have a van,
Mm.
right?
Because it has to be like in the space.
It has to be in the space and they need to be able to supervise it like
Yeah.
we're little kids,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Um, but if a hairdresser is with one of these apps and then they get caught, the app is going to say, oh well, we cannot get fined because we're just a platform that connects people, we're not a salon. It's the hairdresser that's providing the service that is the one that's going to get the fine for doing. But when I got featured, like a month after I started my business, I got featured on the local TV station because the producer saw an ad that I bought on Facebook for $25, just learning how to buy an advertisement.
Mm-hmm.
And she saw it like at 3 in the morning, and she's like, "What is it?" And they called me and they interviewed me. But the first thing that they asked me was for my license number. So press, they don't like to promote illegal businesses. They
Right.
promote businesses that you're legal, you're working. Yes, I understand that I need the van for purposes of promoting my business. But in this recession, and that is one of the reasons why recession, inflation, everything that's happening right now, many people are just very afraid of spending more. And some people need to make money. Some people want to start their own business, but they can open a suite. They can afford buying a suite because the suites have increased. So now the suites are really almost double what they used to be before. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know anywhere else, but I know in Miami, the prices of the real estate have skyrocketed since COVID. I don't believe, let's say if I'm a single mom and I want to make money doing mobile haircuts, I wouldn't allow the government to stop me from doing the work. If that's what I need to do to survive and raise my family and feed my kids, I will be doing mobile work and I will be promoting it because that is better than asking the government for help if you can afford your bills and you cannot eat.
Right.
So I feel like somehow we need to do something about it for many of us.
Mm-hmm.
Because I get people writing to me all the time. I don't know how to do the mobile. I mean, in Atlanta, Georgia, they don't let you do mobile at all. Not in a van, not without the van. I'm like, how can you stop people from building a business that is making honest money? Everybody wants to work virtual, but we're going to be mobile. We're going to be mobile and we're going to be all independent people because
Mm-hmm.
this is the future of our career. We did not go to beauty school to be employees in a salon. I'm sorry for salon owners, but a lot of salons are closing lately because everybody wants to be independent. Salons are renting chairs, they're turning it into salon suites. No one wants to be an employee. You want to work and be independent, you want to work for yourself, and you don't want anyone to cut your wings. If you're creative about doing something, you want to be able to do it. And the cars have gotten really expensive. But if you can set up your business mobile and can go to people's houses and do your work and make money and be independent, I don't see why anyone, not the government or anyone, should stop you from doing something that will benefit your family. Does
Mm-hmm.
that make sense?
Mm-hmm. So, if you were to try to coach a hairstylist to kind of follow your path, how much capital up front do you think they need in order to get like a van started? Because you have to
So you can get
you have to buy the
yeah,
van, right? And then but then you have to pay to get it like remodeled, right?
yes.
Yeah.
You can buy a new van, you can buy a used van.
Yeah.
My van was passenger, so I still have my van seats in a storage that I've been paying for a year. I don't even know what I'm going to do with them, but who knows? You have to get a good working van because you don't want to get a van that's going to be a lemon after you build it out and it's not going to work. That's going to be very costly.
Yeah.
Then you need a generator.
Oh.
So I started with a regular generator, a portable generator,
Uh-huh.
inverter, silent generator, so it
Okay.
doesn't make too much
Oh,
noise,
that's nice.
right? And but now I want, which they can cost from like three thousand to $7,000. But now when I get a commercial generator, those are over $10,000. That's my next upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
Just so it's easier to restart it in between clients. Like a lot of dog groomers have those.
Oh, okay.
So the conversion, you need to buy the seat, like the salon seat.
Mm-hmm.
And there's certain requirements about the seat. You want to make sure that the seat reclines because it's going to be the same seat you're going to use for washing hair.
Yes.
So it's not like you have to, you don't have the space to have both. So you turn around the seat, and I forgot the name of it when it's like a sink mirror, the
Uh-huh.
sink at the mirror. Um,
They call it like a wet station or something like that. Yeah.
yeah, something like that, wet
Yeah.
station.
Uh-huh.
And the
So those
mirror,
kind of things like aren't terribly expensive, and you would buy most of those anyway if you went into a salon suite, like a mirror and a
yeah,
chair and a sink and those kind of things are no big
yeah,
deal.
they usually come with their seats, but people like to make it like their own. So you can put your own mirror and your own,
Yeah.
kind of make it
So
your own.
the generator
And
is a
the
big
sink,
thing.
yeah,
And
the
then,
generator is probably the biggest expense.
hmm,
The AC, I
oh
bought an
yeah,
AC.
you gotta have like heating and cooling.
Yes, so my van is not on. When I'm working, the van is not running. The whole
Right.
thing works from the generator. The salon in the back of the van is all working from the generator.
Gotcha.
Yes.
I guess that makes
Um,
sense. You don't want your van sitting there running for like 3 hours while you're balayaging someone.
exactly. And the
Yeah.
generator uses a lot less gas, so I can use the generator for more than 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, the AC is like RVAC. It's like a
Uh-huh.
$1,000. So you buy your own thing maybe with like 15,000,
Yeah.
and the conversion. If you have somebody in your house that is very he has help you build the van. That's
Yeah.
but also you're working with a lot of chemicals and you're working with water. So sometimes you're gonna have water on the floor. You wanna make sure that everything is sealed, waterproof, so you don't ruin the floor of your van.
Hold on
Talking
one
from
second.
experience.
Oh, there you go. It's like I lost you with the audio for a second there. I couldn't hear
Oh,
you very well.
okay, sorry.
That's okay. I'm like, are you muffled a little bit? Is there something on your speaker?
No,
Oh, okay. Maybe just our
sounds good.
connection got a little weird for a second.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
A little bit. It's a little muffled still. It was like fine, and then it kind of went away a little bit.
No, I didn't even set up microphone, right?
Oh, I can hear you again now. It's fine. That was weird. Maybe it was just the connection. Sometimes things
Just a
get strange.
connection. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so one more question. With your prices, have you looked at like what you're charging compared to like other salons in the area that are like standard, like people go to the salon and like
Yes.
I would imagine your services would be more expensive because it's like more of a luxury to have someone come to you. Do you find that to be true or not?
Yes and no. I am a little more than a lot of salons, especially for services like color retouch. Because it's like if I'm gonna go to you, retouch is a 45-minute wait for the
Yeah.
color to process to cover gray or do gray blending. So that service is high. And then the haircuts, no, my haircuts they start at 230, including blowout. That's not that much.
Mm-hmm.
Versus what I used to charge was like maybe $100 less
Mm-hmm.
than that, but without going to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I compare my prices to some salons around me in the
Mm-hmm.
area. Some charge more, some
Mm-hmm.
charge less, but also some you're paying for decor, a name.
Yeah.
The big salons with the very elegant names, and they have like a lot of reputation of being very high end. They're usually all new hairdressers because a good hairdresser goes to the salon, they build their clientele, and then they leave. And they constantly have hairdressers that are just like very, outspoken, and they like
Yeah.
that vibe.
Yes.
So, but people still believe, oh, it's this salon. I have one near me that's been there for a long time, but I'm constantly fixing color from there because people do, you're really paying just for the name and the brand and the history,
Yeah.
not necessarily for the knowledge of the hairdresser.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm in between.
Mm-hmm.
But I have clients, like for example, I have a lawyer that I see every month, and thinking about it, like if you're a lawyer charging, let's say 500 and up per hour, but then your color retouch, you have to leave the office early, go get a retouch. You're literally wasting 3 hours versus coming to me and or let me go to your house, booking my appointment with me. I see her at 5 o'clock in front of her house. She doesn't waste any time. So the other retouch is costing her more, a lot
Yes.
more, thousands of dollars more than what she's paying me because she has to take time off her work, which is charging 500 and up per hour.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
like if you really have to be a good business person to understand the value that booking a service with me brings to your house, to your life.
Yeah, that was the word I was going to say too, is like the value that people get out of it. I'm curious when you started when you went from working in the salon suite to working in the van, did most of your clients follow you initially, or were you in like you had to kind of transition and build a new clientele that wanted mobile services?
Yes, so at the beginning, some people follow me, and then I started increasing the prices very little. I was like $50 more here and there. And every night I will be like, oh my God, what did I do? This is like terrible. Like I would drive home late and I was not being strict with my hours. I was trying to apply the same thing that I did in my suite. Like I would have people call me at any time. Yeah, come see you. My suite was like 2 blocks from my house. And also a lot of these clients that you have that emotional connection with, so you give emotional discounts to, those are
Yes.
probably the worst clients. It's the worst clients are the ones that are always expecting a discount.
Right.
Those
Well,
will
we've
never
taught
follow
them.
you. They'll
Yeah.
never believe in you. They will never follow you.
Yes.
Somebody that buys you on Groupon, they will never go to you once you increase your prices because they don't value themselves. They're not going to value you.
Right. And you've like
They're not looking
established
for
a
the best. They're looking
relationship.
for the cheapest.
Right.
So
Right.
those are the worst clients. So yes, what happened when I recorded that video and I was driving home almost crying, thinking, oh my goodness, what did I do? Did I just invest? And I was telling one client that was my best friend at that moment. We were going out together, another mom with kids, divorced. And I told her crying, I said to her, I need to increase my prices. I cannot live up what I'm doing right now. This is not working for me. And a month later, I never heard from her after, for her appointment because I was doing her hair every month. And then she decided to go to another salon near me, one of those expensive salons. And I'm like, that's when I realized that's it. I'm going to charge what I charge, and I'm going to have the people that are going to value my work. And 75% of my clients are all new, and
Yeah.
it's going to be 2 years working, and thank goodness, because now I'm happy again. I'm happy working. When I get booked, I'm happy going to people's houses. Oh, I love to see you, and I guarantee my work. If I do some work and they say, oh, this is looking like that, I will fix whatever I have to do. I will go back. I guarantee my work. So I love doing that because they pay full price.
Mm-hmm.
They pay what I'm worth. And if I'm worth and they're paying what I'm worth,
Mm-hmm.
I gladly will guarantee my work. But
Yeah.
if you don't make enough money, people that ask you for discounts, you give discounts, oh, they're never happy. They want their money back. And after you charge very little, you don't really want to guarantee any work after. It's like, oh, again, I don't want to see them again. You want to be with people that you're happy with.
Yes. I think
It's
that's
not
really
just the
the
money.
key. Yeah,
Yes,
it's
you
like
want.
you need to be able to serve people that like serve you in a way and like are
Yes,
aligned with the things that you want to provide. And if those two are
absolutely.
not matched up, where neither person is ever going to be fulfilled, you know?
Yes,
Yeah. That's
exactly.
interesting. Yeah. So, are you at a point now with your business like do you still have room to grow or are you like almost like booked all the time? Like where are you at with that?
Yeah, so obviously I'm always having ideas and creativity on how to grow. So what I just started last week is doing color drop off. So I'm dropping off professional hair color already mixed for the clients that just want to do a little retouch versus paying the full price. And now I'm not doing the delivery myself.
Oh.
So I just kind of like I do the mixture. I have a color kit where they just blend in it's
Uh-huh.
very professional. And so I just started that last week. But I'm also working on BuberApp.com, which is the platform to help anyone in the beauty industry, beauticians or barbers, to start building their mobile business, whether they have a van or not, where they can get listed, they can get found for the exact service they provide.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's another thing. Like The idea of View Bar started honestly when I first opened my salon suite and I was trying to promote my business. And I lived a block away from the suite, and I Googled balayage or haircut, and I wouldn't find. And that's when I discovered, well, you have to be in the first page of Google. You have to pay. Then obviously you have all these corporations and big technology companies paying the first for the first pages, and I'm a small business. They're crushing me.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, but I want to find a specific service. If I want to get my nails done, I want the specific nails that I want. Let's say dip or gel or whatever. I don't want to be calling every salon. Do you guys do nail art or do you do this? I don't want to be calling. I want to know who's doing each specific service. So that's what I did. I categorized every single service in the industry, from eyebrows to hair to makeup, anything service that could be mobile. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm working on. I'll be ready to launch pretty soon.
And then,
Just a directory for people that are doing mobile.
gotcha. So you'll actually host a directory somewhere where customers can come and find who is available to do those services
Yes.
mobile.
Well, I'm trying to hit like the providers first, which is all
Yeah.
the professional providers,
Yeah.
beauticians, barber, hairdressers, makeup artists,
Mm-hmm.
nail techs.
Yeah.
I this is it's a beautiful industry, and I find it sometimes how very little credit we have.
Yes. So
It's
how do
like
your clients find you currently? Is it mostly word of mouth right now, or how do they find you? Where are you listed?
word of mouth,
Uh-huh.
Instagram, and
Uh-huh.
Google.
And
Yes.
Google. So Google Business, you have to have like a location then. Do you have like your home address listed as the location, or how
So
does that
I
work?
put mobile. So what I put is the area in the mobile, and yeah, in the Google I put area. So
Oh.
all the neighborhoods I travel, that's what I did.
Oh, clever. Yeah, that
Yes.
sounds good. Awesome.
I,
That's
and their
very cool.
website.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I'm excited to see as this directory comes out. I mean, I've thought about this with other parts of the industry too. Like, how great would it be to have a directory of like, what if every single licensed cosmetologist, just to say, was, they had like specialties or things they used or whatever, and it could categorize them so that any client anywhere could go to this directory and like type in,
The
yeah,
specific service, right?
yeah, a specific
Yes.
service or even a specific product. Like if they're very picky and they want to use like organic color or they only like this one, they could find someone in their industry, in their area that uses that, and it would just like
Exactly.
make everything so much
Like if you
easier.
like extensions, and people say, "Do you do extensions?" I'm like, "Okay, we have like 20 different types of extensions these days. They're so
Exactly.
different." So
Right.
yeah, you want to put I want weft extensions, I want taping extensions. You
Mm-hmm.
want, instead of calling everyone salon and you have a bunch of salons and you don't really know who's providing what, and
Mm-hmm.
also who's available. Let's say I work at odd hours and I sleep during the day because I'm a nurse, and I want to do my nails at 3 in the morning, and there's a hairdresser somewhere who likes to sleep during the day, and maybe or a nail tech that wants to do nails at 3 in the morning. You
Yeah.
never know. Like there's always someone looking for the service that you are providing,
Yes.
right? There's a shoe for every foot, they say. That's a
Mm-hmm.
Spanish saying.
I like that. I like that.
But it's true. You're gonna find someone that is like, oh, sometimes I'm traveling tomorrow. I wish someone would come do my nails at 10 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
or cut my hair. I have something important tomorrow, a meeting. I want to get a blowout. There's always someone that's willing to do work at any time.
Mm-hmm. So I wonder for you, like with your experience having built out your van, have you had a lot of hairstylists that want to go mobile, try to ask you exactly what you did to, make it work?
Yes, they want to
Yeah.
pick my brain. They say they want to pick
Yeah.
my brain.
I could
I
almost,
had a hairdresser. I mean, he's a barber.
uh-huh.
Reach out to me. I forgot to my daughter. That reached out to me and asking me how he could change his business because he built a van and it wasn't working for him. But he also has a barber shop. And I said, no, you need to focus. You're gonna generate results where you put your energy. So if
Yep.
you want the mobile business to work for you because eventually you want to close the barber shop, then close the barber shop.
Mm-hmm.
But because you're looking for independence, you don't want a headache, you want to work for yourself, you want to have more money in your pocket, that's different. Now, if you want to have a barber shop, then you hire a barber who could also manage it for you, or
Yeah.
and then you rent the chairs. Well, you don't
Yes.
really have to have a manager. You rent the chair, you let it generate money, you charge for rent, and then you work mobile. And you're gonna lose some clients,
Mm-hmm.
But the clients that are going to be with you are going to be people that you say, wow, they're willing to pay because they love my work so much that they're willing to pay. And it's
Mm-hmm.
great. It's a great feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So where do you see yourself going? Like if I was to ask you, where are you going to be in 5 years with your business? What does that look like for you?
Oh, my business in 5 years, the platform will be working. I will have people from all over the country sign up into ViewBar so they can start building their mobile business.
Mm-hmm. And so what
I
will
mean,
that, is that like a membership kind of business or like courses people take, or what kind of services will you be offering at your website?
so right now the website is still in the works and I
Yes.
have a waiting list. But the other day someone called me asking for a makeup artist. I found a local makeup artist in Miami because I since I do mobile and people think it's a mobile salon, they think it's like all services. They call me for abdos, they call me for makeup. And I had this girl and she paid me just like a monthly fee. But she puts her prices, it's all her money. All I'm doing is connecting the customer with the right professional.
Okay, I see. So then you'll host a platform where the providers are going to pay you like a monthly fee or something
Yes,
to be connected with the general public.
for the exact
Gotcha.
service that they provide.
Gotcha. No,
And
that's
that's
really
just like
clever.
my initial idea because obviously nobody you want to keep your money, right? I don't like
Yeah,
to give my commission of what I make to anyone else.
right.
Um, and that's just the initial. That's what I'm doing initially. Oh, as I grow, I see where that goes because technology changes daily,
Yeah,
and what's good right now, maybe in the future is not.
yeah.
So for now, so yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Allow everyone to just have their own pricing, but also if they want coaching when it comes to pricing and how to do certain things, that's going to be available, obviously at a different rate
Mm-hmm.
because that takes time
Mm-hmm.
to coach people. Consultation and all that takes time.
Yes.
But yes, I want everyone to be able to build their own business without a big investment
Gotcha.
because I came from a mother who used to didn't even have a car to go to beauty school. I was 21, I believe, when my mom went to beauty school, and I would drop her off in the morning, go to school. I was working in an office from like 9 to 5 job. I would drop
Yeah.
her off at 8 in the morning to in beauty school. I would go to work, and at 5 p.m. she was still there. And I think that's what made her learn so much. She was working with every single person that went to the salon at the beauty school, and she was learning with everyone, just waiting for me.
Yeah.
And so I do believe that you can build a big solid business with nothing, just
Yes.
with what you know from beauty school.
Yes.
We are the tools.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
And like if you have the grit and like the determination to make it happen, you can. Absolutely.
Yes, any
Mm-hmm.
business is like that. You can have the greatest idea, but if you don't have the grit and the determination and the mindset to do so, you
Mm-hmm.
won't achieve anything, no matter how great your idea is. So, for any business, you do have to put in the work, you have to put in the time, everything that you have to do. You have to learn your market. Who do I want to market? In what neighborhoods do I want to promote myself in?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
One last question for you. So let's say in 5 years your website platform takes off and you're doing really well with that. Do you see yourself stepping away from working behind the chair and like parking your van and not driving it anymore? Or do you think you just love it so much you want to keep doing it?
No, I do like the van. I don't want to get rid of the van.
Yeah.
I've thought of so many different scenarios, and I'm like, no, this is like the best way for me to work. Maybe not take new clients.
Mm-hmm.
That would be
Spoken like
probably
a
it.
true hairdresser there. We all like love the art so much that we don't want to
Yeah,
give it up. I love that.
yeah.
That's so
And I don't
great.
I don't want to work in a location. Like I love being outside. I
Yeah.
like driving around. I know sometimes the traffic drives me crazy, but I
Mm-hmm.
just love knowing what's happening versus being in my little box that I used to be before with no
Yeah.
windows. It drives me
Oh,
crazy.
yeah. No.
I used to be in a suite where I used to be in a suite that had no windows, but I was in front of one guy that was on the window. So at least his light would hit my suite. But then after COVID, the landlord bought a new location that was a little fancier across the street from the University of Miami. And I said, oh, I want to go to this new building. I followed him to that new location and I had no windows. And I say to him, had I not come to this location, I still would be wishing on the van. But the fact that I was here, it kind of pushed me out to like, no, go to the van because you're going to go crazy if you don't see the daylight.
You need fresh
So,
air.
right. Are you in a salon suite or are you in a salon?
I actually have a studio at my house now, and it's like my recording, podcasting, and beauty studio. So
That's amazing. That's
it's
where my mom started.
it's really,
In
really wonderful. Yeah. And I spend most of my time recording podcasts and doing online education at this point, but I still have the little hair chair for like when I bring in models and I need to work on people. And so it's really convenient.
wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Thank you. Well, for
That's how
anyone
my
that's,
mom started. My mom started in the house. She
yeah,
built the salon in the garage. She converted the garage.
yeah,
So
yeah.
when she did Shakira's hair, Shakira went to. She was in the garage getting
Oh
her
my
hair
God,
done by
that's
my
so
mother
fun.
when she launched her first English album.
Oh my gosh, that's so
Yeah.
fun. What a good story. Well, it's clear that you're very passionate about the industry and that you understand the value that you provide, right? Going back to like your mom's story and your sisters, and like you see the power and the value of what we do for a living. And so I think it's great what you're doing. And I hope that for anyone that's listening that is curious about being a mobile hairstylist, that they come and follow you. So where would my listeners find you on like social media and website?
So my Instagram is where I'm mostly active. Beaubar.van. That's
Mm-hmm.
BEAUBAR.van.
Mm-hmm.
And then Beaubar app. That's the second. So when
Okay.
I'm ready to launch, but they can sign up on the waiting list at beaubarapp.com
Wonderful.
so they can be reached out once the platform is ready to launch. And Facebook is Beaubar is the
Okay.
page.
And then if
Yeah.
anyone had any questions for you and wanted to ask you something personally, would you prefer that they send you like a DM on Instagram or do you have an email that's preferred?
Yeah. Instagram is fine. I always reply.
Awesome. Love it.
Respectful messages, I always reply.
Right, right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hopefully anyone that's listening wouldn't leave you a disrespectful message. I'm pretty sure they
I
wouldn't
know.
at this point, right? It's all the weird
Yes,
haters and the trolls out there and online
yes,
that do that.
yes, yeah.
Awesome.
Social
Well,
media is a little weird for me.
it is, I know. And I have a love hate relationship with it myself, right? It's like I understand the value in it, but it's also just so strange.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on and
Thank you so
sharing
much
your
for having me.
story. I love all of it. It's very inspiring, and I
Thank you
think
so
that
much.
your messaging is going to really resonate with a lot of people. So,
Oh, I hope it does. That's really
yeah,
my purpose. I tell you, every day when I pray, I say, God, use me as an instrument to do better things in this world because that's probably the hardest things to do. We all want to do it, but we don't know how to, right?
exactly. Exactly. Right on,
Thank you
sister.
for your podcast, though. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
yeah. Thanks for coming on. Okay, so I know you have things to do, and so do I. So we'll wrap up here. But so for anyone that's listening, go find you on Instagram, and then I will link anything in the show notes that is helpful for people for like clickable links and whatnot. And we will just kind of wait to see what happens with your platform, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Thank you
yes.
so much, Crystal. I
Wonderful.
appreciate it.
Okay, you have a
All
wonderful
right.
day, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you. You too.
Okay,
Bye
bye
bye.
bye. All right, friend. Well, that's a wrap for this episode of the Your Hair Mentor podcast. It has been my pleasure to be here as your host. Again, my name is Crystal Green. And until next time, my friend, as I always love to say, have a wonderful hair day, and I'll see you then. Okay, bye.